I'm not sure how I'm still alive. Remember those other doctors I told you about that I thought were helping me?
Yes.
So Dr. Jarudi in Bonn had taken several pictures of the beatings that I was taking in the Northwest Rhine region, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Like blood everywhere. I went to him a few days ago. He deleted my file without my knowledge. He seems to have moved to a brand new facility, state-of-the-art facility, which is a little concerning considering he just did that. One of the receptionists, who appears to be some kind of feminazi thing, and this is all started from 2013, yes? Police fiscal, medical corruption, this fake political thing in Scotland, I can't get rid of it. So then I went to that other doctor, remember Norbert Hoffman in Würzburg? He deleted my file, lost all my political papers, and is now moving into a state-of-the-art medical facility. I am now banned from looking for a job in Germany. Every job center has banned me. I was staying with some psycho from Diakony in Düsseldorf who ended up stealing 4 terabytes of my evidence, throwing all my clothes out, and I went to the head priest of Diakony in Düsseldorf, who said, I know who you are, you're that Canadian that's in trouble, and threw a 20 euro in my face. I started to receive death threats from police, mainly from Hanover, which is where my lawyer was based against SAP, that I've had to change my phone number probably about 10 times now. I get death threats on email, so then I started to have to post on social media what I'm being subjected to, because if you think about it, I've had no money for 1 year. Can you survive on money? Can you survive without money for 1 year in a European country? Well, it's impossible. The only reason I'm still alive is people have seen what I'm being subjected to and given me money. So I went to Luxembourg. I had a friend in Bonn who said, I can't stand and watch this anymore, and financed me to go to Luxembourg. The only reason I'm here is the only health insurance I have is German. The health insurance in Luxembourg is very expensive. So I have now applied for, after I worked at SAP, for about 7,000 jobs. Can't get one. I actually even went to the International School Church. They wouldn't help me. I went to 3 youth hostels that my friend in Bonn was paying for, yes? So I can at least try and save my life. I was terrorized from the moment I got there. People taking pictures of me, videos of me. So if you have breakfast is included in what you pay for, denying me breakfast, constant stealing. I can't, it's very, never mind 24 hours. If I take, as an example, the U-Bahn from Düsseldorf to Cologne, or I might take the U-Bahn here, no one looked sideways at me when this manufactured fake political situation happened. Yeah, I had 2 passports, I had 2 embassies, nobody bothered me. I was jacked. Now I can't get on an U-Bahn without someone throwing my clothes on the floor, throwing punches from people that I don't even know. So what I did was I started posting a lot of some of the documents that I have left on Facebook, on Gab, and I am receiving on YouTube. And if there is nothing going on, doctor, why am I receiving emails from YouTube, Facebook, and Gab? Gab's not even, none of these are German websites, right? But it's the if you're in trouble or provide the free speech websites, yes? I'm now receiving emails from YouTube saying the German government is blocking everything across Europe, and if you post any more, something bad's going to happen to you. If nothing is going on, why? And it's an official document from YouTube, an official document from Gab, an official document from Facebook. I'm literally saying, can I be left in peace? And I'm receiving messages like that. Then I really don't know at this point how to solve this. Because if you can't block someone from job center. How many people, this is an 80 million in Germany? Something like that. So I'm an IT and I'm blocked from jobs. What am I going to survive on? How physiologically, on a biological level, can I survive on nothing? Biologically, you can't survive on air. So I have come back to see you. I had to jump on trains. The only reason I was able to even get here was I showed the conductors some of the police reports. I'm now getting, this is the last thing I'll say. Well, it's not funny, I'm going to die, Doc. Police officers here, when I was in, this will show you how bad it was, I was in Cologne and I met a Taiwanese woman and a Chinese woman. And we became quite friendly. Police would follow me with the flashing lights, literally 5 meters behind me, to the point they got terrorized and flew home. As soon as I crossed the border from Germany into Luxembourg, I was escorted by, the Flixbus was escorted by police to the station. And what they're doing on JF Kennedy Boulevard, right, which is where the European Parliament is, right, what they'll do is, police cars or ambulance or whatever, I won't know they're coming, and then about 10 meters behind me, they'll flick on the lights and then the siren to obviously irritate the shit out of me. So there are random people helping me. I've created a tiny little group on the phone. They also stole my phone. But there's only so much, these individuals don't have a lot of money. So I am totally and completely trapped. If you block me from jobs, block me from medical care, you have doctors deleting my file. So on a data protection level, yes, you have ISO 9000, ISO 12000. Can you just delete someone's medical file? I said, can I at least have it? No, they completely deleted it. On a medical level, you can't do that. You can't do that in a bank. You can't do that in any office. Never mind the doctor's office, right? You can't. You have to wait 5 years at least for data protection purposes, in case someone needs to access. You can't just delete the file, your file. I'm right, because I've worked in all these things. I know about data protection. You can't do that. The 2 doctors who I thought I could back have completely deleted my file and lost my paperwork. That's against the law. So I have no, how the hell I am about as trapped as you can get. And literally, I have to go back to Luxembourg because someone has my suitcase, but I had my phone stolen in the Luxembourg airport. I actually got a Luxembourg, because I was receiving the attacks that were happening in Germany, that happened in the UK, that happened in Canada. It's the exact same, attacking psychology, attacking medication, blocking from jobs, same thing. I took a Luxembourgish person with me, who works for the government. We went through how I'd been attacked. The female officer refused to give her name, refused to give her badge number, and refused to write a report. That is illegal. So I'm now going on a back and forth text message with him, like, now you see what I'm up against, and he's like, I'm starting to wonder what's going on. I've just met this guy, he took me into his home, so some people in Luxembourg have taken me, an Ivory Coast woman took me into her home. They've now banned me from Luxembourgish youth hostels, because in Luxembourg it's so expensive, if you don't have a lot of money, that is the only accommodation. Right? So if I die on the street, well, his story never happened. I can't keep making emergency 200-kilometer journeys to see you to get an emergency prescription. I don't know how I'm going to stop this. I don't. Because there's so much corruption now involved in my story, so much money, they're doing everything they can on a passive-aggressive basis without literally putting a gun to my head to try and kill me. This has nothing to do with politics and is about murder. The same thing that happened in Canada, the UK. Was this to do with anything about politics? No, because the politics in Scotland was faked anyway. This has nothing to do with politics. They wanted me dead because I was getting too good at my job, and has now gone on 5 years. And I am trapped. I'm adding people on LinkedIn, and at some point, someone's either got to do something or I can't survive.
What can I do?
I mean, literally, unless you have... There's thousands of people, maybe hundreds of thousands of people in Germany know my situation, and if no one's going to do anything, I'm going to die. And it's becoming apparent it's the same in Luxembourg. Remember when I traveled all the way to Denmark? So we're not just, I am completely cut off. Other than the prescription, and remember, I think, when was the last time I saw you? And I said I had the no money thing, right? How am I going to pay for a prescription? I'm going from €5 to €10 to €15. People giving me dribs and drabs. I am literally was made out to be something political when essentially it was attempted murder and now it's slavery. So other than the prescriptions that you gave me before for my nose, my asthma, and the sleep, if no one has the balls to actually go to the government and stop this, I'm going to die, because it's not only Germany now. Anytime I try and save my life anywhere, do you know the #1 people I'm up against now? And before you write this prescription, it's the police. The amount of attacks I've had from Polizei, Danish police, Luxembourgish police. Why? Who controls the police? The politicians. Who controls the politicians? The banks. Who did I work for? They are my #1. I mean, they are terrorizing me. To a degree, even if it's not a physical thing, do you think it's normal? So Luxembourg is a tiny country, yeah? 500,000 maximum. If I'm walking down a street, unless there's now a mass murder in Luxembourg, 17 ambulances and police cars will wait until they're right behind me, flick on the switch and lights, and go right past me. Every single day. Do you think that's a little unusual? One last thing I will say is on a psychological basis. You know how I'm taking Zopiclone, right? And this all started with that Felicia Schiskal massively overprescribing that. That's how she tricked me. If you've ever have you ever been in a hotel? At some point in life, I'm sure you have. So, because I can't afford that, I'm staying in hostels, right? So there might be 2 or 3 other people in the room. If someone is threatening to fight you, take pictures, stealing your stuff, you go to the manager, can you please move me room? That's logical, yes? So I moved to, this is in Esch, in the south of Luxembourg. I moved to another floor, another room. Do you think it's logical for that hostel to then take everyone out of my room that I now get on with and put the other person back in my room and start it all over again? Is that a logical thing to do when the hostel's empty? It's not, is it? Why? You're instantly causing a situation, no? And then because they did that, I went and complained again, and that was the excuse for them to ban me from the hostel. You see what I'm up against? That whole situation had nothing to do with me. If you cut me from jobs, cut me from accommodation, I can't survive. I come here for the prescription. I have a bit of a battle when I make phone calls to the receptionist. I'm in a dogfight to save my life. And if I don't solve it by, my birthday's on December 10th, yes? Christmas is coming up. If it doesn't stop soon, I will not survive till January. It will be over. Because I am now so tired from this beating. And it's a genocidal beating of an innocent man. I just don't have the strength anymore. That guy in Bonn has been a legend. He's kept me alive. He don't make a lot of money, but he's going out of it. He bought me these shoes. The whole thing is, I had Prada, Gucci. I don't dress like this. If you make someone homeless, cut them off, they die on the street, I'm just going to get thrown in the river. There's so much money on my head now because my story is so bad, and I am a high-profile person working at all these places. They'll throw me in the sea. And if I go back to the UK and this fucking Brexit thing is coming up, I'll be instantly tortured and killed. I am trapped. I have about 20 to 30 days to solve this, or it's over. I know how bad my body's getting. There's only so many broken bones I can take. So I have a network of maybe 3 people in Luxembourg and 1 in Bonn trying to help me. If I do not get a job, and that is the key, it's impossible. I'm actually going to go to Sky Sports after this and say, the reason they blocked me in Düsseldorf, blocking someone from a job center, have you ever heard of that? Right, so we're blocking someone from applying for jobs based on the fact that they're saying SAP and Sky, I never worked for them. You can't, it's illegal.
I don't understand, but
I know what I'm up against. They want me dead.
2 things. We talked about it before.
Yep.
I can give you a prescription.
Yep.
Okay. I'll give you a prescription for the Zopiclone and for the nasal spray.
Mm.
Do you need a prescription for the asthma?
There's a bit of more, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a vicious cycle that I can't get out of. I can't sleep. My nasal drip gets worse. It goes into my asthma is getting worse by the day.
So give that to you.
Mm.
I don't see where I can help you with the other problems. The only thing I can offer
In the hospital. Yes, but I'm going to tell you one thing. When I was in Cologne, yes, not Munich, and I had a horrendous situation when I was in the Helios hospital, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So how they treated me. Again, a feminist. I can't stress to you, and the last time I say it, March 10th, 2013, the Jewish are very well connected, yes? They pretty much control everything. This feminazi, psychopath, Felicia Giscal got me hooked on that Zopiclone, that's why I take it. I was 4 months away from passing my probation at RBC, and I have a beautiful life. Scotland faked that referendum, and now since March 13th, do you think it's a little unusual that every female doctor I go to refuses me medical care? It just happened 3 days ago in Dusseldorf. Psychos. And this feminist, whatever the hell movement it is insane. Any doctor I see now is male. Why? They've injected me with pheromones, I've not dated. The number one way to get rid of a male threat is turn him into a woman. This is insane what's going on. I'm literally fighting to stay alive, hold on to my sanity and my manhood. I mean, it's insane. 2018, I'll be honest with you, the way things are going, regardless of my situation, you ask any person with a brain, something bad's coming. It's coming, because people have had enough of it. It's ludicrous what's going on. The point was with the hospital, I had 3 legal complaints, because I got tortured in one of the Cologne hospitals. By who? 3 feminazis. So, I was actually very sick about 1 month ago, so terrified that I didn't want to go into the hospital. I went down to the basement, locked the door in one of the toilets, and managed to get my health back together because I didn't know what they were going to do to me in the hospital. That's not a good scenario. I lived my life perfect. Hurt nobody, worked hard, helped everyone, and I'm subjected to this. I should be put on the mantle as this is how you're supposed to live your life. Really though, no crime, no torture, raised myself since 10, put myself through university and delivered a $700 million project at Bank of America. Should I not be praised for that? And I'm tortured all over the world from that redneck country that's above England. And there's no doubt in my mind there's money going back and forth between Germany and that shithole. I've got to get a job somewhere else, stabilize my life. I'm not even dated in 5 years, Doc. As a man. Yeah? As a man. They're cutting me off from being a man. And for diacony to do that, if the church is doing that, then I got a big problem. The only reason I'm even still alive is my brain is still intact. I refuse to turn to be a bad person. It's not my makeup. They're doing everything they can to destroy me. My brain, my soul, my body. I mean, it is homicidal. I come for but the thing is, if I am there and I somehow manage to get a job in the next 20 days, all I will say is, Doc, we talk on a reasonable level, right? We don't shout at each other, we're reasonable. I don't really want to get in a battle every time I have to get someone to call here to maybe get a prescription. It's just not necessary. I'm under enough stress as it is. I need peace, calm. If I need to, I literally need to go on an island and be left alone for 2 months and nobody bother me. That's really what I need. I need to go to freaking Siberia. Leave me alone. Even this Zopiclone thing now, I know I've got a problem with it. Without it, I would have been dead. But that, I would rather come off that myself. But it'd probably take me 5-6 months to come off that. I'm more than mentally strong enough to do it. But this is unsurvivable. And we're now in winter.
I put down that if you need a Softclone, we can send a prescription to you.
I just don't need to get in a battle with someone.
I already put it down,
Yeah.
so we know. For the Softclone, I can only send then as a private prescription.
Yeah, I know. Can this one be our
This is our card.
Okay.
Okay. Don't lose your money, or at least your.
It's not funny, Dad. So you're a doctor in Munich, right? Are you trying to tell me, and this is not really your go-to, all these doctors and whatever, surely someone can step in and do something to stop this. People are connected. We live in 2018.
I mean, still, I told you, I think.
I feel terrified going into hospital based on what happened in Munich, based on what happened. I have 3 legal battles with hospitals.
But at the same time, if you think you need that kind of help, let me know and I can
Doug,
organize.
I'll be honest with you. I'm so terrified to go into a hospital, not just in here, also in the UK, someone doesn't put a little something in my drip. That's where I'm at.
I understand that.
I know, but understand that you understand the situation I'm in. Right? It's about as bad as you can get. Well, I need more than luck. I need someone with the balls to do something. So I just had a conversation. This is the clinic, yes, that also took the MRIs of my thigh that basically diagnosed that I had been tortured, so people know exactly what's going on. 3 years, people don't give a fuck if you die on the street in Germany or the UK, and it's all over Europe now. I went to Denmark, threatened me with guns, knives, it's everywhere. As I said, once Scotland faked that whole UK referendum thing, then I have no passport. There's a Scottish dickhead in the passport office in Toronto who blocked my passport, and everyone who was jealous of the fact that I had come from nothing, raised my life and got to the very top, then it's murder. It has nothing to do with politics. That's why the police are trying to kill me in every single country I go to.